Okay, class, good morning. So today we're going to do another exercise. So we did this, here's the syllabus. We did this one on Tuesday. Okay, and so a lot of you have already posted that homework or posted that assignment on the Blackboard page, but make sure you get that one in by next Tuesday. So again, that one goes here. So example 2.2, which we covered on Tuesday, goes in this section on the discussion board. And then the one we'll do today is example 2.4. That completed Excel file is going to go here. And both of those are due on Tuesday, so you should have plenty of time to do those. And a lot of you probably finished both of those assignments by today. Okay, so example 2.4 is the one we're going to do now. Let's go to that section on Blackboard. Okay, so you can open up the example 2.4 Word document that has the steps and the formulas. Okay, and the Excel file, the template, is the quantity discounts one under example 2.4. So I'm going to go ahead and open that one up. Okay, so I'm going to read you the little synopsis for today's exercise for example 2.4, and we'll do that one in a minute. All right, so this example, we're going to look at a quantity discount concept and a little exercise here. So Sam's Bookstore, with many locations across the U.S., places orders for all of its latest books and then distributes them to its individual bookstores, so it's like a wholesaler. So Sam needs the model to help it order the appropriate number of any title. So, for example, Sam plans to order a popular new hardback novel, which it can sell for $30. These prices might be a little outdated, but the concept still applies. You can purchase any number of this book from the publisher, but due to quantity discounts, the unit cost per book depends on how much it orders. And so these are the unit costs right here. If it orders less than 1,000, it's $24 per book. If it orders at least 2,000, it's $22.25, and so on. So there's a little chart where the price changes. If you order more, like a bigger quantity, you get a discount. But Sam is uncertain about the demand for the book, so we're going to have to estimate that. And it could be anywhere from 500 to 4,500 books, so that's the Okay, so that's the uncertain demand we're working with. And then for most of the hardback novels, what they used to do is if they don't sell at the hardback, they become a paperback at a cheaper rate. Or when the paperback comes out, you can just sell the hardback at the same paperback rate. Alright, so if we estimate demand incorrectly, for example, if there's less demand than we thought, then the remainder of the books we can sell for $10, which is the same price as the paperback. So the goal is to try to estimate demand properly so we can sell the customers the price at the $30 book, but if we don't, we can sell them at a $10 discount kind of after the fact. Alright, so what we're trying to do is we're going to do a little model based on the unit cost, the projected demand, and so on. And we're going to try to figure out how many copies of the book Sam should order from the publishers to kind of minimize costs or maximize profit. So that's what we're going to do here is we're going to use this concept of quantity discounts and uncertain demand to see what this business decision should be. Alright, so let's go to the template. Okay, here we go. So here's the quantity discounts file we're going to be working with today. Okay, so there's the regular price and leftover price. So the regular price is 30, the leftover price, if we don't sell it at 30, the discount price is 10. Okay, we're trying to decide how many books to order here under the order quantity. Okay, this is the uncertain demand that we'll model that based on the probabilities of demand, which are, I think, down here. Yeah, so there's a certain number, there's probabilities based on what we think demand is going to be, so we'll use that to estimate our model based on probabilistic demand. And then these are the unit costs. So, for example, if we ordered up to 1,000 or less than 1,000 books, it's $24 per book. If we order 1,000, it's $23 per book, and every time we order it, we hit this certain milestone, like get to the next 1,000, then it becomes a little bit cheaper. So the point of the exercise is we get a quantity discount as we order more quantity from the wholesaler. All right, so let's use this information to maximize profit for this bookstore. All right, and then we'll do that by determining how many books we should order that give us the highest expected profit. Okay, so here's the example 2.4 document with the steps and the example we're going to look at. So we got a couple optional videos. We're going to cover these concepts, but if you want to see what, there's a little video on sum product and VLOOKUP. So I'll explain those functions as we go through them, but there's a quick video that explains those in more detail, and there's an example that someone does in Excel on YouTube. So there's a look at that. If you need more on sum product and VLOOKUP, they're very useful features. We're going to use a lot throughout the semester. Okay, and we're also going to start doing range names. We're going to give names to certain ranges, and this will help expedite the process when you're making formulas. You can just pull in the range name you made, and it's a lot easier to see what's going on than just selecting ranges. So all these things, we're going to do sum product formulas. We're going to use the VLOOKUP feature, and we're also going to use range names, and all these things we're going to use throughout the semester. But we'll go through the concepts in the model, but I'd recommend taking a look at those quick videos just to kind of explain the concepts more. But, yeah. All right, so watch those optional videos when you get a chance, but let's go ahead and start the model. So we're going to do example 2.4. So the first thing is to kind of start the model, step 1. So last time, our first meeting, we just colored our inputs light blue. So we're going to do that first, but we're also going to have a few more things to note or to highlight or to color in the spreadsheet. So inputs are going to be light blue. Decision variables are going to be like a light red color. Objectives, what we're maximizing or minimizing, are going to be a highlight yellow. And then also, sometimes we have an uncertain quantity. In this case, we have an uncertain demand. And we'll just pick that color for uncertain variables as I think a light green. So let's first highlight the inputs light blue. Let's go back to the spreadsheet. All right, so here we go. So the inputs are just the numbers that are kind of set beforehand. So basically the regular price or leftover price, those are inputs. We can highlight those to the light blue color. Okay, all of the costs, the unit costs, depending on how many we order, those are inputs. So this whole area, D5 to E9, we can highlight that. So light blue color, those are inputs, that whole range. Okay, and also the probability based on what demand is also inputs for now. So we can highlight this area. What we think demand is going to be an input for the model. So this range. Which is B26 to I27. Let's make that light blue for the range of inputs. Okay, so what this tells us is so demand is going to take, for this simplified model, demand is going to be one of these choices. So there's basically a 2.5% chance demand is 500. There's a 5% chance it's 1,000. There's a 15% chance it's 1,500. And there's a 25% chance it's either 2,000 or 2,500. So those are the most likely. And then 15% chance is 3,000. 7% chance is 3,500, and a 4% chance is 4,000. So demand's got to be one of those things for the book, and we're going to use the probabilities to calculate our expected profit. Okay, so next thing we'll do in part 1, which we haven't done yet, is let's highlight any decision variables in our model, light red. Alright, so there's only one decision variable here, which is how many books to order. And if you go back to the spreadsheet, it says right there that that's our decision variable. So let's highlight the B9 cell, like a light red color. Okay, so that's always going to denote we're trying to find the best value of this to calculate our objective. So that's the decision variable here. Sometimes we have more than one, but for now we just have the one. So that's what we're deciding. Okay, and then let's also highlight our objective. Alright, so the objective is what we're trying to either maximize or minimize. So there's one thing we're trying to solve for in the spreadsheet. Let's go back to the spreadsheet. So we're trying to maximize expected profit. So therefore, the profit cell or reference is going to be the objective. And the color I put for the objectives is just a highlight yellow. So you can highlight, there's nothing in it yet, but we'll get there. But B19, cell B19, we can make that the highlight yellow color for the objective. All right, and then final thing, final thing in step one. In some cases, we have an uncertain quantity, and the uncertain cell, in this case, is demand. All right, so we can highlight that a light green color. So B12, demand is uncertain based on probability, so let's highlight that a light green shade. Okay, so you can kind of see now what we're doing is the blue cells are inputs. We're trying to choose how many books to order to maximize profit, and we have an uncertain demand. So the color system we'll do beforehand, like this is the first step in the models before we start solving. And so we'll always color the inputs light blue. We'll denote the decision variables light red, the objective highlight yellow, and then sometimes we have an uncertain variable. And if we do, we'll highlight that the light green color. All right, so now we're going to start the concept of range names, and so it's just what it says. We're going to give a name to a range or a name to ranges. All right, so let's create range names, like the ones you see in figure 2.22. All right, and we'll double check, and I'll make sure you guys get this, but make sure we get the range names because these will make the rest of the solving process a lot easier. And we're going to be doing range names a lot throughout the semester. And so the first step is doing the highlight, and usually the second step is naming our ranges, and then we'll start typing in formulas. So step two is let's make some range names, and you'll see what I mean here. Okay, so range names are names for the ranges, and there's a couple ways to do it. And so if you have adjacent cells, you can name those ranges at the same time. So let's start with giving a named range. So the regular price and leftover price. So if you select A5 to B6 like this, and then if you go up to the Formulas tab, you should see a little button that says Create from Selection. Click on that. Okay, then it normally defaults to the selection that you want, which is the left column, and so that should be checked. And what that's going to do is it's going to take the name in the left column and give it to the range in the right column. So basically, this will be called regular price, and this will be called leftover price. So if left column's checked, just hit OK. And what you'll see is, you click on this cell now, that's the regular price name. And if you click on this cell, that's the leftover price name. Okay, so doing the range names might be a little bit different in the Mac version, but I know that you can do it. And so was everyone able to get the range names or see how to do that?
I'm on the Office version, and I can't figure out where to do that.
Okay, so do you have a Formulas tab up here?
Yeah.
Feature that creates some selection?
No, it doesn't have that.
Doesn't have that. So another, I mean, you can always do it manually, but it's a little bit more time consuming. So is there like, do you see a name manager thing or anything up there? Any of this section, any of these names?
No, that whole section isn't in it.
Wait, I have input. Are you like splitting your screen? Because I went full screen and then you can see it.
Oh. Oh, no, it's still not showing.
I know it. I mean, if you have the Office version, it's got to be there somewhere. It might be the layout might be a little bit different. And so under what do you see under Formulas tab?
It only shows me two things, the Calculate Workbook and Calculation Options.
Oh, so this stuff over here. I want to say that you're just not seeing all the features, but so if you click on the Home tab, do you see all this stuff? And is the regular menu bar there with all the features for all the other tabs?
Yeah, all my other tabs look normal. It was just that one, I don't know why.
Well, okay. So another way to do it is like this. So it takes a little bit longer, but for now it's not that bad. So instead of doing what I did, just do it manually. So click on this cell, V5, and then go up here. You see the name box, like this area here.
Yeah, I see it.
Okay, so just type in the name, which is regular _ price. And so just name it manually and then hit enter. So put the name up here, then hit enter, and that should name it.
Oh, okay. So it says, at this time, you can't create new named ranges in the web version of Excel.
Oh, so you're using a web version. Okay, so yeah, if it's the online only version, I don't know that you can do it. So you're gonna have to get the full version. So the Office version is fine, but it looks like you're using just the web version, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know that you can do range names on that, and so I'm gonna have to get you access to the full version of Excel through the university.
Okay.
So we can't do it right this second, but for now, just kind of do what you can, but we'll have to contact me later or stay after class a little bit, and I'll try to show you where you have to contact the library. But you can get the full version, which you're going to need for the rest of the semester.
Okay. All right. Thanks so much.
You're welcome. Okay, yeah. So if anybody else is using or trying to use the online version only of Excel or Google Sheets, you're not going to be able to do all the features, and I'm going to have to get you to get access to the full version to the university. And so if you don't have the full version of Excel, please let me know, and I will point you where to go to get it to the library. So for now, don't worry about it, but at some point we got to get everyone the full version. Okay. So if you do have the full version, you can do the range names. So we did these range names. Now we're going to make some more. So we can also do one for order quantity. Okay, if you select A9 and B9, you go to stay at the Formulas tab. And do it again, create some selection. Okay, and leave it at left column. Alright, and then hit OK. Okay, so that should be called order quantity based on the name in the left column. Let's do another one for demand. You can select A12 to B12, and do the same thing. Formulas tab, create some selection. Left column, okay. Okay, so the one under the profit model, we can do all those at the same time. So if you want to select A15 to B19, right, we can do the same steps, and that'll give names to all these ranges here. So with that range selected, formulas, create some selection, and just left column should be checked, and hit OK. Alright, so you can see that that's now unit sold at regular price. That's unit sold at leftover price, and all the names in the left column give a name to the range right over here. Okay, so we have a few more, and I think the one up here with the discount table, because the name isn't in the spreadsheet, we have to name it manually. So if you select this range, D5 to E9, and let's call this cost lookup. So with that range selected, go up to this name box and just type in the name cost lookup. Okay, cost lookup, and then hit enter. And you can't have any spaces in your range name, so it's got to be all together, or you can use underscores. So make sure it's all attached. You can't have spaces. So cost lookup. If you hit enter, that should do it. If you reselect this range, you should see that it's called cost lookup up in the name box. So did that work, doing it manually? Okay, so it looks like that's working. We have one more range name to do, and then we'll double check that we got them.
It's not work.
Oh, it didn't work? Okay. But the other ones worked?
What do you mean?
Like when you did it for these ones?
Yeah, that's
okay,
work.
just not this one.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so let's see. So let's try again. Just select this range, D5 to E9,
Mm-hmm.
and then can you go up here to the name box
Yeah.
and just type in the name?
Okay.
So type in, oops.
Lookup.
So
Yeah.
type in cost lookup and then hit enter on your keyboard.
Yeah.
And did that work?
If I move to another, it's not change.
Well, so it should only give a name to that range that you specified. So like if you go somewhere else, it's not going to have the name, but if you select this again, you should see that it's
Oh.
Yes?
It's D5.
It's what?
D5.
Oh, so you just made, well, so you have to select all these together?
Yeah. I did it. And the name is D5. I don't know why.
Oh, okay. So maybe it just, so if you select the range like this together, D5 to E9, alright?
No, just D5.
So just D5?
Yeah.
But, so D5 is just D5, right there, and then you want to give a name to this whole range, so D5 to E9 altogether?
Yeah, I did this. The name is not cost lookup, it's D5.
Oh, okay, well, just change the name to cost lookup. Right? So
I changed it, but when I do again, the name is still D5. It's not changed.
well, so when you select this whole range, the name up here is D5,
Yes,
and you can't type over it.
I do.
Okay, so let me show you. Okay, so you've got this range selected, and it says D5 up here, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and we need to overwrite that name to cost lookup. So can you go up here and start typing?
Yeah. I put the cost lookup.
Okay, and then if you hit enter on your keyboard, it doesn't overwrite it.
Let me see. It's D5. I don't know why.
Well, it should be able to work. Like all you, or maybe not. What's so when you type in cost lookup up here, and you hit enter, or you hit whatever the take button is, but it doesn't work.
No, it's not work.
Well, let's look at this. All right, let's try this. Just select the area, D5 to E9, all right, again, and then go to define name. Do you see define name?
Yeah.
All right, so click on that, and just type in the name to be cost lookup. All right, and then hit OK.
It's work. Thank you.
Okay, yeah, there you go. All right. Okay, so one more range name, and then we'll double check those again. Okay, so let's make a range name for the probabilities down here. And actually, I missed one of them when I highlighted the inputs. So if you see this down here, make sure it goes all the way to the J column for the light blue range. All right, so this whole range of inputs, D26 to J27. And the last range name we want to make is for the probability ranges. So if you select it like this, A27 all the way to J27. All right, so select this range, then go to Formulas tab, and create some selections. And then just leave it a left column, so the whole range will be called probability. Okay, so we're almost done with step 2, but you can double check the range names you just made. Under Formulas tab, click on that button that says Name Manager. Okay, and you should see all the range names that you defined, or that we defined together. So look at your name manager and make sure you have cost lookup, demand, leftover price, order quantity, probability, profit, regular price, revenue, units sold at leftover price, and units sold at regular price. So make sure you have all these range names. And if you don't, let me know and I'll help you define some more of them. So these are the ones you should see in your name manager. Okay, so we got those. If we got those, we can close this. All right, so let's go into step 3. And if you fall behind or miss anything, and need me to repeat something, just let me know. You can turn on your volume, or you can post something in the chat. All right, so step 3 is to calculate the revenue. So we're going to put in cells B15, B16, and B17. We're going to put in these 3 formulas. All right, so let's go back to the spreadsheet, and you can put in these formulas I have for you in step 3. All right, so let's start with cell B15, which is right there, units sold at regular price. So put in the formula you see in step 3, which is equal to the minimum function. All right, and so when you start typing in the range name, it should pop up. And so when you see your range name, you can just double click it. All right, so that's order quantity. And then comma demand. And so the range name should pop up when you're typing them in. Okay, so the formula equals min, order quantity, comma demand, and you should see that if you did the range names properly, that when you have the names there, it highlights the cell it's pulling from. So see, this is order quantity, which you gave the name to, and then the second one is the name. So the colors coincide with the range names that you gave to your cell. Okay, so the point here is that the units we sell at regular price is going to be the minimum of the two, and that's because we can only sell either what we order or what demand is. So if we ordered 2,500 and demand's only 2,000, we can only sell what people demand. So that would be the case where the demand is 2,000, so that's the order quantity. Or if we didn't order enough, we can only sell what we order, and that would be what we sell. So basically, whatever's the lower of these two is what we're going to sell at regular price. So now you can see that that's 2,000 because we ordered too much, and we can only sell what demand is, and the rest of them we're going to have to sell at leftover price of $10. Okay, next formula in step 3 goes in B16. So put the next formula you see in step 3, which is equal to the if function, and then order quantity, greater than demand, comma, order quantity, minus demand, and then comma 0. Okay, so here's the formula. I'll explain it in a minute, but just make sure it's, when you're doing it, make sure to highlight the range names, right? You should, when you start typing in the range name, you should automatically select it. Okay, so the formula is equals if order quantity is bigger than demand, comma, order quantity minus demand, comma 0. Alright, so what this is telling us is that if we order too much, give us the difference, and that's what we're going to sell at leftover price. Otherwise, give us 0. So if order quantity is bigger than demand, which it is, then what's the difference? Between the two, it's 500, so that's going to be the value. And then if order quantity was less than demand, then the value would just be 0 because we didn't order too many. Okay. Last formula for step 3 goes in B17. So put in that last formula. It looks big, but it's just the range names are kind of big. So in step 3, last formula in B17 is equal to. Alright, so the revenue is units sold at regular price times regular price, plus units sold at leftover price times leftover price. Okay, and so the range names that you highlighted should come up. See how the colors coincide with the selection, if you did the range names correctly. And so this is pretty simple. The revenue is a combination of what we get from selling the book at regular price, and what you sell at regular price times the regular price, and then the rest of the revenue is what we get if we have to sell the book at the leftover price, $10 of that. So it's basically going to be, we're going to sell 200 at $30 each, plus the rest at 500 times $10. So the revenue is a combination of the two pretty much separate products we can sell. So either regular price books and then add the revenue from leftover price books. And so for now it should be 65,000. Okay, so let's go to step 4.
Professor?
Yeah.
When I input the formulas, like they all highlight, but instead of giving me a number, it just inputs the formula in the cell.
I got 35,000.
Okay, so let's see. All right, so the first question, do you have an equal sign in front of them?
Yeah, they all have the equal sign in front of them.
So you have this whole thing, but it doesn't give you the value?
No, it'll just have the formula in the cell. And like I click on it and they all highlight and everything. I don't know what's going on.
So is that for all of them?
Yeah, that's for all of them.
So here, if you type in equals min, order comma demand, and hit enter, it doesn't
No, that whole formula would just show up in the box.
That's I never really. what about these ones are fine? The ones that have no formula?
Yeah, the ones that have no formula are fine. It's just those ones.
So it just, it must be some layout you have, so let me just see if I can troubleshoot.
I'm on the map. I don't know if I have to do anything with it.
Okay, so I think it's just the formatting. So if you select the cell, and up here, do you see like a format, a number format drop down? So under the home tab, do you see somewhere that has like the formats? Or you can click on the format button over here. Do you see that? Okay, do you see the format option?
No, sorry, I was muted. No, I don't see that.
Okay, so under home tab, do you have a home tab up on the top?
Yeah.
Okay, do you either see this, something that has the formats, like number format, or you see the format drop-down menu somewhere?
I see the one that has the number, the general.
Okay, so can you change that to number? Or change it, like, it should just be general, but it looks like the format is different. So if you change it to general, or change it to number, it should give you the number, the general number.
Okay.
So try that. So try just changing the format and see if that displays not the formula.
Yeah, no. Okay. Yeah, no, it still leaves me with the formula.
Can you change the format to number and see if that works?
Yeah, no, it'll like highlight all the inputs real quick, and then it'll just go back to the formula.
All right, let's see. Okay, yeah, so it says you have to change the format and then retype the formula. So try selecting these ranges and change the number to general. Okay, so do that.
Okay.
And then delete everything you have in there and let's retype it again. Just change the general, you can hit the delete button on your keyboard like that, and so everything's on.
Yeah.
Alright, and it's general, so let's try it again. So this one, put in that formula which is equal to min. Order quantity, comma demand. Alright, like that. And these are highlighting when you do it.
No.
What?
No, they're not popping up like yours.
Okay, so you might not have the range names correct. That could be the issue. But if you type in equals min order quantity comma demand, enter. What do you see?
Nothing. Oh yeah, it highlights. Like once I type it in all the way.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So put that formula in B15 and hit enter.
Yeah, no, it's not working.
What do you have? What's your result?
It's the same result. I still have the formula instead of the number.
If you click on this cell, B9, do you see the order quantity name up here?
Which one? B9?
Yeah.
Yeah. This is order quantity.
This is still showing you the formula, not the result.
Yeah.
I mean, if we change it to general, it should change it, but I don't know what.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. So just yeah, did you put equals?
Yeah.
I thought that was the first issue, but I think it should be working. If I saw your spreadsheet, like I could probably fix it real quick, but I don't know exactly what the problem is, but just try to do the rest of it, and if it doesn't work, just like when we finish class, just like email me your spreadsheet and I'll take a look at it, and I'm sure I can figure it out real quick. But
Alright.
yeah, so just let's keep going. Okay, so let me put the other formulas in real quick, and then we'll go to step 4. Yeah, was there another question before or after that one? Okay, so here we go. We finished step 3, I believe. So we had this formula here. This was 2,000. This was 500, and this was 55,000. And we were about to do step 4. So let's do step 4, assuming we can. Okay, so step 4 is to calculate or tell Excel to get the ordering cost based on the discount structure. Okay, so put in the formula you see there in step 4. So in cell B18, this one, the formula is, okay, so how do you format it? So you can, you want to keep it as a dollar sign. I think I just So I think I changed it to not show a dollar sign, but you do want the dollar sign in. So this one, leave it, but these ones should be the dollar sign because it is our currency value. Yeah, so to change the format of anything, you can click on the format and then the format cells. But yeah, leave it as currency because currency is what it should be. Okay, so step 4, the formula we want in B18 is this one. You see this one in step 4 equals. Alright, so this is the formula. I'll explain it, but it should. The formula is equals VLOOKUP, a VLOOKUP function, and then in the parentheses you got order quantity, the range name, comma, cost lookup, the range name for this, and then comma 2, and then after the parentheses times order quantity. So this is your formula that goes in to D18 equals VLOOKUP, order quantity, comma, cost lookup, comma 2, and then close parentheses times order quantity. Alright, so what the VLOOKUP function does, it's very useful. You can use it to report a range in a certain table. Alright, so VLOOKUP is going to take the order quantity, which is 2,500, and then go to the cost lookup table and find where that falls. In this case, it's going to be less than 3,000, but in the 2,000 range. And it's going to give us the number 2 is the value in the second column. So it's going to see that the 2,500 is in this range and report 2225 because that's the unit cost, and then multiply that by the unit quantity. Okay, so it takes the order quantity, goes to the table, reports the argument in column 2, and then that's the price times the order quantity. Alright, so it's basically 2225 times 2,500. Alright, so it should give you 55,625. Okay, and then the last step, profit, is pretty easy if you got the rest of the spreadsheet done. So step 5, profit. Okay, put in the formula you see in step 5 on your printout, which is just equal to. In B19 equals profit is equal to revenue minus cost. Okay, so profit's just revenue minus cost, which in this case is 9,375. Okay, so everybody good so far? Is it looking similar to what I have? Okay, and the person that had just the formulas, is that still the problem?
So I have all the formulas in.
It's still doing formulas?
Yeah.
Okay. So it's got to be something with the formatting. But yeah, so just leave it as is for now, and then I'll take a look at it later.
Okay.
Or, yeah, actually, we'll finish the model, but
So what?
let me show you what I was. If you go, if you want to go to discussions in example 2.4, just post your file, and then I can look at it like right after we finish class and try to see what the problem is. So when you get a chance, just post your file right here in the example 2.4 section, and I'll try to fix it and send it back to you. Okay, so it looks like a lot of us have gotten this far, and the next step, step 6, is we're going to make a data table. And so the data table is pretty useful, and we'll kind of see. So we're going to show what happens to a certain value profit in this case when other things change. So step 2, let's make a two-way data table for profit as a function of order quantity. And so let's first, I'll follow the steps in step 6, but we're in the process of making a data table. So step 6. Okay, so first, back to the spreadsheet model. If you go to cell A22, which is this one here, let's type in, we want to make a link to the profit cell, so just in cell A22, type in equals profit. So equals profit right there, and so it should pull in the profit cell from B19. So equals profit, enter. Okay, and then we have to add some rows here. So this thing that says add rows is necessary. You can just delete that. Just hit the delete button. Okay, and then we need to add some rows, and to do that, you can select the rows kind of like this on the left side. Alright, so I selected 23 to 33. You know, I did that, and then I can do this a couple times, but if you select the rows like that, and then go to on the Home tab, and just hit the Insert button here, Insert Cells. That should insert as many rows as you selected. Okay, so select the rows on the left side, like selecting the numbers, and then hit the Insert button. You see how it inserted a bunch of cells in the place there and moved the rest of it down? Alright, so did that work?
Alright, what did you do?
Okay, I'll do it again. Alright, so you got the 9375 in A22, and then
Where is the red word?
Oh, I deleted. Just delete that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, delete that.
Okay.
Okay, so the red word's deleted, and then right here, let's go with the mouse. Just select 23 to 33.
Okay.
Okay? And so with those selected, under the Home tab, just hit this Insert button. And that should insert 10 rows, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, it works?
Got it.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, now what we're going to do is set up our data table. So we're going to put order quantities down here, and then we're going to try to see what happens to profit when order quantity changes and demand changes. Okay? So let's, the numbers we want to put in, we're going to okay, what are we doing? So let's set up the data table here. So what we want to do is put these values, 500, 1,000, and so on, along the side and then down the column. So let's just, I think the easiest thing is just to type it in. So just in the D22, type in 500. In the C22, type in 1,000. And then Excel's going to recognize that you're counting by multiples of 500. If you select D22 and C22, all right, and then with those two selected, just click the bottom right corner and drag it across, and do what I do and count up to 4,500. And Excel will count in increments of 500. So select. So you got 500, 1,000. Select the two, and then click the bottom right corner and drag it across like this, and count up to 4,500. Alright, so see how you can also just type it manually, but see how Excel, once it recognizes the pattern you're doing, like you're counting in increments of 500, it should do it for you. Okay, so you got 500 to 4,500 in increments of 500 in this range here.
Do that and use something?
Oh, so let's see. Did you you put in 500 here?
Yeah.
1,000 here?
Yeah.
Okay, and then, alright, so let me show you what I did. So select these two, so select D22 and C22,
Mm-hmm.
and then with the mouse, grab this bottom right corner, and then drag it across, like this.
Oh, got it.
Yeah. Alright, and then we're going to do the same going down this cell. Actually, let me show you a nice feature. This is appropriate here. So if you want to select this range, B23 to J23, and then you can copy it. So just hit the Control C will copy. So hold the control button and then hit C, so that copies it. And then if you want to go here, you can paste like downward. You can paste the row down the column like this. If under the paste drop down, if you choose transpose, it's going to do it. It's going to put what you had in the row down the column. See? So I can do that again, but all we did is use the transpose feature, and we took what went across and we made it go down. So you see how this was transposed to go down there. So did you see what I did there?
Can you do it one more time?
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so first we need to copy this. Alright, so select that, and to copy that range, B22 to J22, just hit Control C to copy. And you should see that it does that little like dotted line thing to copy. And then go here, A23, and up in the paste drop-down menu, under the Home tab, click on that, and you should see an option. Where is it? Right there, transpose. Choose that.
Okay, I got it. Thank you.
Did that work? Okay. Okay, so if we got 500 to 4,500 here, and then we got 500 to 4,500 here, then we can make the table. So what we're saying, what we want is we want the associated profit when demand is this, when demand is this, and order quantity is this. So we're trying to see what happens to the expected profit when the two variables change. Okay, so we can make a data table to show that. And to do that, you want to highlight the entire table starting with A22. All right, so make sure in A22 it says equals profit. Okay, then select the full range. A22 to J31, right? So select the whole range like that. Okay, then we're going to make a data table, and to do that, click on the Data tab at the top. Okay, and you should see What If analysis right here. Click on that option. And then click on Data Table, because we're making a data table. So Data tab, What If analysis, and then Data Table. Okay, and we can specify the row and the column by the appropriate range name. So the row is what goes, which one is the row? The row is demand. All right, so you can type in demand for your range name. And the column input tells order quantity. Okay, and they have to be exactly the same name that you gave them in the range. So row input cell is demand, and that should be the range name. And column input cell is order underscore quantity. Okay, and those should recognize the ranges that you named earlier. Alright, so we're saying that these are the demand values that are changing, and then these are the order quantity values that are changing. And we're trying to get the corresponding profit when those two variables change. So row input cell is demand, column input cell is order underscore quantity, and if you hit the OK button, you hopefully get something like this, where inside here, this is what happens to profit when demand and order quantity change. Alright, so I'm guessing that didn't work for everyone, but did some of you get the data table to work?
Can you show it again, please?
Yeah. Okay. So let's let me do the data table again. What is mine? Okay, so we got this part, I'm assuming, and then let's select the range again first. So first, just select this whole range, which is A22 to J31. So get this whole range selected first, and then under the data tab up here, choose what if analysis, and then data table. Okay, and then type in the range names for the appropriate values. So for row input cell, type in demand. And then column input cell, type in order underscore quantity. Okay, and then when you type in those, if you hit the OK button, it should work. And so, for example, if order quantity is 2,500 and demand is 2,000, then the profit is 9,375. Okay, did the table work that time? Okay, well, hopefully we got the data table to work. We have a few more things to do here in the spreadsheet. Okay, so we did the two-way data table. Step 7 is to calculate expected profit, so let's do that. Okay, if you want to scroll down to where it says down, so you did the data table, then you got this stuff, and then down here you should see order quantity and expected profit. Okay, so that's the area we need to do now to do this other data table. So if you go down, there might be a different cell reference depending on how many rows you added, but right under order quantity, we need to type in the values again, like these values. So I think the easiest thing to do is, because it's going to be the same thing, is just to copy and paste it. So if you want to go select A23 to A31 and copy it, Control C. And just go right there under order quantity in this area and hit Control V to paste. Alright, so Control C is copy and then Control V is paste. So under order quantity, you should have 500, counting up to 4,500 again in the increments of 500. Okay, so everybody good so far with this part? Okay, then let's get the expected profit based on the probability that demand occurs. So in this cell, right under expected profit, type in this formula you see in step 7, which is equal to the sum product function okay, and then comma, actually, I think, it says B23 to J23 on the printout, but I think I have an extra row, so let's just change that from B22 to J22. Okay, that's what we want. So equals sum product B22 to J22, and then comma, probability. So that should be the range name there. So here's the formula, equals sum product B22 to J22, comma, probability. Okay, so it's gonna take a sum product of this area, so it's gonna be basically this times this, plus this times this, and all the way along. So the sum product is the sum of the whole product. So when you do a sum product of two ranges, it's this times this, plus this times this, plus this times this, and all the way to the end, and that'll give us the expected profit based on, there's a 2.5% chance of it this, and it shouldn't work like that. So your formula is equal to sum product, B22 to J22, comma, probability. Okay, and then if that works, you're going to copy the formula down to the rest of the B column here. So if right here you have equal sum product B22 to J22, comma, probability, just grab the bottom right corner of B40 and drag it down like this. Okay, and that's the expected profit of each corresponding order quantity. So if you order 500, that's the expected profit. If you order 1,000, that's the expected profit. And, right. So, were we able to get this step here?
Do we change it to the currency?
Yeah, that's a good idea. So you can change all the monetary values to currency. Sure. So you can select this range, B40 to B48, and under the Home tab, under Format, you can choose Format Cells, and you can change it to currency, and it should give you the dollar sign, and you can hit OK. And if you don't want the decimals, right, because they're all zeros, you can delete them with this shortcut. So under the Home tab, you see up here the arrows under this section, and this one's decrease decimal. If you want to decrease the decimals, you can just hit this a couple times. Okay, so we got the expected profit associated with each order quantity. Alright, so a couple more steps. We're almost done with this one. Step 8 is to make a bar chart of expected profit versus order quantity. Alright, and so all you have to do is select the chart you just made and then make a little bar chart. Alright, if you want to select this range, A39 to B48, like that, and then go up to the Insert tab. Okay, and you can try hitting Recommended Charts. Okay, and there's the one you want. So the very first one, which is, I guess it's called Clustered Column, you can hit OK if you get that option. Okay, so then we get the chart here where it shows what the expected profit is based on changing order quantities. Okay, great. All right, so basically, these are the order quantities that we can choose from, and then this is the expected profit. All right, and you can see by just looking at it which one's going to give you the highest expected profit. So let me show you one more feature, and this is if we had a bigger range, this would be very useful. So you can already see that the highest expected profit comes with order 2,500 books. But if you wanted to find the highest value in a range, you can use the conditional formatting option. All right, so let's get Excel to tell us the highest expected profit in this area. So if you select B40 to B48, and then under the Home tab, if you click on Conditional Formatting, and you go to where it says bottom rules, and then choose top 10 items. And just change this 10, just decrease it to 1 so you get the top value. Alright, so top one, and then hit OK. Alright, so you can see that it found the highest value of 12,250, and that comes along with ordering 2,500 books. Okay, so based on expected profit, Sam would determine that he or she should order 2,500 books. Okay, because that gives the highest associated expected profit. All right, did that part work? The conditional formatting? Okay, so we did the analysis. All right, so this was a model with quantity discounts and uncertain demand, and we were trying to determine how much to order to give us the highest expected profit. And we determined that the highest expected profit comes with ordering 2,500 books. Okay, so we're done with this spreadsheet. If you're done with this, you can save it, and this is what you turn in for this assignment. So the completed quantity discounts Excel file. It goes here. So that's due sometime before next Tuesday. All right, so that's example 2.4, and just put your completed Excel file here. There's one practice problem at the end, at the page 2 of the document, and so if you want to look at that, I have the solutions up posted already for example 2.4. Okay, so those are here. So look through these, and just make sure you can see, I just want you to understand a few concepts of not just the formulas, but how we calculate revenue, cost, and profit. All right, so look through the practice question with my solutions and make sure you understand how we calculate revenue, cost, and profit. All right, based on the numbers here. And let me know if you have any questions on any understanding of that. So this is just to make sure you understand how to get revenue, how to get cost, and how to get profit, just based on the logic. So look at those ones. Okay, so we did example 2.2 Tuesday, we did example 2.4 today, and so both of those are due by next Tuesday. And so when you get those done, some of you might have them both done already, just post them to the discussion forum for the appropriate example, and just sometime before Tuesday, and then next week we'll start doing example 2.5 on Tuesday. So get those two submitted by Tuesday. I have a few more. I have to look at a few things that students have problems with 2.4. But if you're good to go with example 2.2 and 2.4, just get those posted, and that's going to be it for today. And everyone, please have a good weekend. Stay safe, and thanks so much for joining everyone on Tuesday morning.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, Professor.
Yes.
How do we get Excel on our computer?
Okay, yeah. So you have to contact the library, and so where's this? Send this. Okay, so I wanted to request Excel for all the students in case they didn't have it, but it looks like the students have to request it from the library, and so the girl at the ATS request from the library said you have to access it to the VDI or the virtual lab. I'm not 100% sure what that is. Do you know what that is?
No.
Okay, so you need to so let me show you where to go to do the contact and go here. Okay, so here's, I can send you this link if you can't find it, but you have to go to the Student Technology Request Form and just tell them what you want to request, which in your case is Microsoft Excel. And so you start putting your name and your email and your ID and just tell them what you want. And so this will go right to the library and they should get back to you right away. And if you need any help with that, let me know, but you have to go to so under the Wilson Library, if you go to the Student Technology Request Form, it's an online form. It'll just take a minute, but tell them the technology being requested, which is Excel, and just give them your name and information. And they should
Does it say MacBooks unavailable?
Well, that's if you wanted to rent.
Oh, actually rent a laptop.
Yeah,
Okay.
this is for renting. Like you can't rent a MacBook. But
Okay,
what
gotcha.
you want to do is request the technology. So you don't want that. You want to. I'm gonna. I can. Let's see. It doesn't say. Let me contact them again, and I'll. Okay, so this is Jessica.
Yes.
Okay, let me contact the library, and I'll send you an email with what to do to request Excel, because right now you're just using the online version, yeah.
Yeah, I'm using the one that you can just access if you create an account.
Okay, yeah. So let me contact the library again, and I'll tell you exactly how to request it, because it looks like this is for requesting actual software, or like.
Yeah.
And but I know. Yeah, and then I'll send you an email with instructions on what to do after I talk to the library again, and then they should be able to help you. So you have to request it, and let me send you an email with steps to do that.
Thank you so much.
Okay, you're welcome.
Appreciate it. Thank you. Bye.